What is going on, everybody? This is early November in beautiful Orange Beach, Alabama, and we have Mom, hey, and we have the pier cart out for the beach. So it's not my first time beach fishing. I've done tons of beach fishing, but it's my first time doing a video out on the beach. So that was a pretty big airplane. So join me, let's get out there and see what we can catch. Alrighty, today we are out on the beautiful beaches of Orange Beach, Alabama. Gonna try to do some surf fishing. I'm just gonna show you real quick what we're using. Right here it's called fresh dead shrimp. But any type of frozen shrimp, whole head on is good, but the freshest you get, normally the better, uncooked. But you can't get any fresher than that. Those used to be kicking just a few hours ago. And then next, the rig I'm using is a double drop pompano rig by Salty McCrory Fishing. You can check them out on YouTube and Facebook, but it's Salty McCrory. And his pompano rig, some of the best pompano rigs out there, pre-made. I got some magic thread if we need it. This just helps keep your bait on a little bit better. And then some fish gum. This is a synthetic cut bait pretty much. It's got a whole bunch of different flavors onto it, different ways you can hook it. And this stuff's pretty good for when the shrimp's getting picked off, and it also just it slowly dissolves in the water and puts out a scent and a color that attracts a fish. And this one is a blaze orange. It's got sand flea, clam, shrimp, crab, and it says more. So that's fish gum, and it's actually made pretty local. It's made over there in Navarre, Florida. But what we're using today are just a basic 8 to 9 foot rods with the double drop pompano rig on them. And you also need some pyramid weights, have different sizes. Today there is some wave action, so I'm going to start at a 3-ounce pyramid weight. All this does is clip to the end of that pompano rig. Another big necessity for surf fishing are rod holders. So we're going to get this stuff set up and get to fishing. To get these rod holders, really simple. I like to set them right pretty much on the high ground, or right just above where the water is breaking on the ground. Stick it in and parallel to the water. Wiggle it back and forth. Pat it down, and that's it. Super simple. So all we're using for bait, like I said, is a dead shrimp. And to prep this dead shrimp, pinch the head off, pinch the tail off, and peel it completely. Once you got your shrimp peeled completely, you can either pinch it in half. I like to take a knife and cut it in half, and that's for one rod. And then I take some of this fish gum, and it looks like bubble gum. So take your fish gum, come over and cut just a small piece off, because I'm using it with shrimp, just a small piece. And I got 4 hooks, so that's 2 rods, 2 hooks piece. So I need 4 baits. So there's 4 pieces of fish gum. And this stuff doesn't stink or anything. You don't have to keep it on ice. It's pretty cool. You can use it by itself, but I'm going to be using it with the shrimp. And let's go bait up. So I'm going to take 2 of these, 2 pieces of shrimp, 2 pieces of the fish gum. Run over here to our rod. So I'm pretty much using a 9-foot rod and pretty much a 6,000 size reel. Just something that can hold a decent amount of line. I have a 40-pound braid, but that's a little overkill. But this is your double hook pompano rig. You got a swivel, come down to 2 hooks just like this. This is Salty Pompano Rigs premium new coquina rig, coquina clam rig. So it's got the float and then a circle hook, and that's the key, is that circle hook right there. Then you come down to the same thing, another float and circle hook, and then at the end is a clip for a pyramid style weight. And all you do to bait it, take your circle hook and then your piece of dead shrimp and grab you a piece of the fish gum, and that's one baited right there. You don't need a big bait. Pompano, whiting, reds, they don't have a very big mouth, so you don't have to have a huge bait for it. And same thing on the bottom hook. Take your shrimp, thread it on, take your piece of fish gum and toss it on there. Now we're going to cast this out. You know, when casting out and looking for a place to fish, you don't want to make it too complicated. It can get as complicated as you want. But I'm not paying attention to tides today. The water's beautiful. There's a lot of wind, a little bit of current moving from left to right. There's a sandbar out maybe 80 yards. I'm not going to wade out in the water. It's pretty cold. I don't feel like wading. On the Gulf Coast, you don't have to wade. You don't have to go very deep to cast. So we're going to cast from here. We're just going to give it a lob. Nothing crazy. And then bring it, set in your rod holder. Loosen your drag. Fairly loose. You don't want something to take your whole combo out. And then tighten it up. And just like that, you should have your rod kind of a little bit of tension. And you'll know when you get a fish because it'll go down just like this, and sometimes you'll hear your drag. If there's a sandbar out there and you're right here on the beach, you want to cast in between that sandbar is normally a deeper cut. You normally want to cast in that cut or on the edges of that deep area. That trough is their highway for those fish to move in and out and ambush food, search for food, etc., etc. But that deeper spot is normally where you want to cast. Let's get this other rod baited up, cast out, and try to get some fish on. And we'll give it a cast. Not as far cast this time. I'm holding her rod, but she got her first fish. It looks like a little juvenile pompano is what that is. Yeah, that's a little baby pompano. He isn't big enough.
First one on board.
Now, pompano in Alabama have to be 12 inches total length, so he's not a keeper. So we'll toss him back, but that's awesome to see a good fishery when you have juvenile fish. And what'd he eat? What'd he bite on?
Fish gum.
Fish gum? Awesome. Look, woo! Let's see what it is. Oh, it's pulling pretty good. Let's see what it is. See, with circle hooks, you don't have to set the hook real hard. You just have to put some pressure on it. See what it is. It's pulling pretty good. Oh, yeah, it looks like a pompano, yeah. And this was on the one that was just fish gum. Is it a pompano? Ah, pulling pretty hard. Oh yeah, no, bluefish. It's a bluefish. Okay, well, not what I expected. These things are toothy. Woo! All right, shoot, come here. I'm not keeping these. Well, that's what you call a bluefish. They're really good to eat. I'm not going to keep him, but they got some serious jaw strength and some teeth, so you don't want to stick your finger in his mouth. But I'm going to let him go. But there's no size limit on them, and they're really pretty hard fighting fish, so we'll throw him back. There he goes. There you go. All right, let's cast this back out. Another fish on. See it? Is it running? Oh, there we go. Ah! Alright. I don't know what it is. I just hope it doesn't cut me off this time. Come on now. He was layout, but it's pretty heavy. Oh, he's running in my other line, I think. Oh, he's over my other line, I think. Ah? Is it a stingray? I think it might be a stingray. I need to get over my rod. I think it's a stingray. Yeah, I think. It's pulling pretty hard. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it looks like a stingray. Is it? Yeah. Stingray. And my line. Reel it in, please. Yeah, reel it in. There we go. These stingray, once they get to the beach, or once they get right where the surf's breaking, they're hard to get up. Hold on, it's gonna be a big tangle. Hold on, don't put a lot of, hold on. Can't get them. Things are annoying. All right, all I'm gonna do is slowly drag them up. Ah, there he is. Okay. I'm not keeping him, but you can if you want to. They're completely legal to keep. I'm not going to keep him, but that's a southern stingray. Now you do need to watch out for that barb right there. That barb, it's not the end of the tail that'll get you. It's that jugger right there. So we'll get the hook out of him and get him back released. There he goes. Okay, he's gone. Not my most graceful thing ever, but I'm gonna get this crap untangled and get on another one. Make another cast. There you go. Little whiting. Those are real good eating fish, those whiting are. That one's a little small, so we'll toss them back. But they normally get about this big all the way to maybe a foot. Alrighty, so that was a pretty quick fishing session. Our main goal was to come out here and wait for the blue angels, and that's what we're doing right now. But you just can't come to the beach on a day like today and not bring some fishing rods. So we did a little bit of fishing. We didn't get skunked, but it wasn't necessarily what we were after. But now it's a waiting game for the blue angels. It is the last time that they're gonna use the regular FA-18 Hornets. They have transitioned over to the Super Hornets, yada yada yada. You can read it all online, but in all it's pretty cool. So they're going to do a flyby, but you can see the beach is crowded. And everybody's just waiting to see them fly by, so hopefully we can get some cool footage to show you and make this a pretty cool day. All right, that's pretty cool. So here they come. All right, you can see the smoke trail right there. It's gonna be pretty cool. If that doesn't make you feel patriotic, you just don't need to be here. That is awesome. No matter what your beliefs are, that's just cool, our military power. I think it's awesome. So, but I appreciate you watching this video. If you saw that in person down here, that's cool. I'm glad you got to see it in person. But thanks for watching this video. Thanks for all y'all subscribing, keeping this channel going. But I want to thank the good Lord up above for everything he does for us, and we'll see you later.